Good morning, everybody. I'm Bob Duffy, Lieutenant Governor. I want to first of all thank you all for coming this morning. We are joined today by several esteemed guests and partners in New York State government. I'd like to go through them. First of all, our Governor Andrew Cuomo, our SUNY Chancellor Nancy Zimpher, Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos, Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver, Senator Ken Laval, Deputy Majority Leader Tom Libous, Assemblywoman Deborah Glick, and Assemblywoman Donna Lupardo. Also representing SUNY Binghamton's proposal for New York State SUNY 2020, President Harvey Stenger from Binghamton University is here. Randall Edward, Director of Educational Opportunity Programs for Binghamton University. Bhagat Samakia, Interim Vice President for Research and Director of Small Scale Systems Integration and Packaging Center at Binghamton University. Diana Benz, President of the Southern Tier Opportunity Coalition. James McNamara, President and CEO of the Endicott Interconnect Technologies Incorporated. And after I speak, you'll hear briefly from the Governor, Cuomo, and also Chancellor Zimpher. Binghamton will present their program here for the audience, and at the end there will be comments closing by the Governor, by Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos, and Speaker Silver. So with that, I'd like to welcome Governor Cuomo.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor. Welcome all of you to this is the Red Room. It's the official Governor's office. I initially was going to use it on a day-to-day basis, but it's not quite intimate enough for me. So the office I use is inside, but this is the official Governor's office. A lot of history, and it's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure to be with the Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos and the Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver, our colleagues from the Assembly and the Senate, the great Chancellor Nancy Zimpher, our friends from SUNY are here, and welcome to our friends from SUNY Binghamton. Pleasure to have you here. We have done a lot of work with the SUNY system over the past year and a half. It is a precious asset for this state, as you know. It handles two very important roles. Number one, as an academic university, we work very hard to make sure that public education is the best in the nation. Public education is the great equalizer, and educating our people is our number one priority. And SUNY does it extraordinarily well. The quality, affordable higher education is a major priority for this state, and SUNY is our vehicle to provide it. SUNY is also a vehicle to do economic development and create jobs. And that, in many ways, is the art form, using SUNY not just as the academic engine, but as the economic engine. And our plan for the state, our New York Open for Business plan, basically works on two tracks. Number one, doing statewide reforms to generate the economy. But we also recognize that the economy works on a regional level or local level. And we believe a catalyst for those regional economic development plans can be the SUNY system. And those are the two goals that we have had throughout. And we've been advancing both. Last year, we passed something called rational tuition, which we believe is a big asset for SUNY, that it will know they'll have a predictable revenue stream and tuition stream, and parents will be able to know what tuition they're going to pay going forward, and the universities will be able to plan. And we introduced the SUNY system into the economic development system through our regional councils. The Lieutenant Governor heads regional councils that are collaborations all across the state, and SUNY is a vital part of those regional collaborations. The program you're here today was our attempt to even jumpstart that effort, where the 4 research centers across the state, Stony Brook, Buffalo, Albany, Binghamton, which happen to represent some of the main regions of the state, we wanted an additional investment in SUNY really to make you the spearhead of those regional economic development efforts. We're not in the business of giving away money. We want to see money actually go to a good product. We want to see the money generating jobs. We want to see the taxpayers' money well spent. So the quality of the plan and the use of the money is very important to us. And that's what this presentation is all about today. We're also announcing today that we're going to now announce what we call the second round, which is the expansion of this concept. Thus far, it's been limited to the 4 research centers. In the budget that my colleagues passed, and the legislation that my colleagues passed this year, it announces a second round, which is a competition for the remaining of the SUNY system, $60 million for the other 60 schools to compete. Grants from $5 million to $20 million, and on the same concept, for the best academic excellence plans and the best economic development plans. And it'll be a competition once again to make sure we're getting the best product. So we're excited about that. But the first order of business today is to hear your plan and to see what your vision is and to probe that gently probing. It's what we do here in Albany, gentle probing. Right. But before we get to that, let me turn it over to the greatest asset of the state's greatest asset, which is the SUNY system, our great Chancellor Nancy Zimpher, who has been a partner in all these efforts. And let me also point out, before I turn it over to the Chancellor, my legislative colleagues have done extraordinary work, in my opinion, with the SUNY system. And we have Senator Ken LaValle, who's here, and Assemblymember Deborah Glick, who's here. And they have been at this much, much longer than I have. And the reforms that they accomplished in a relatively short period of time, the rational tuition, the program that you're participating in, the second round that we announced today, this is all a product of their good work, and I want to acknowledge their efforts because they really have been something special. And it's been my pleasure to work with both of them, as well as their leaders. With that, Chancellor Zimpher.
Thank you, Governor Cuomo. I'll just start where you left off. We are extremely grateful for the leadership of the legislature, the Senate, and the Assembly, and I want to join the governor in thanking you for the support and investment you have made in the State University of New York. I must say, particularly, Governor, we have needed a champion, we want to be a partner, and you have invested in the State University of New York, and you have lifted up the concept of the role we can play. To the Lieutenant Governor, I would say the same. Regional economic development is very important to us, and so we're going to return the favor. You are making an investment in us, and we understand our academic responsibility, but we were in search of a way to implement what we think is the full power of SUNY as an economic engine and enhancing the quality of every New Yorker. So the proof point comes again today through the presentation we will hear from SUNY Binghamton, as we did in Buffalo and at Stony Brook, and as we will eventually in Albany. But the real excitement, again, of extending this idea to a round two of NY SUNY 2020 is that the remainder of our campuses can apply for, compete for funds to invest in their power as an economic engine as well. I know everybody knows this, but there is a SUNY campus within 30 miles of every New Yorker, which is the kind of scale that no other system in the country possesses. So the combination of your vision, Governor, and New York being definitely open for business and working through the power of SUNY, I think we can do great things for the Empire State. So it's a privilege, and I want to thank you personally. Now, it's my great privilege to introduce the relatively new but hit the ground running president of SUNY Binghamton. We are delighted to have Dr. Harvey Stanger with us in a leadership role. And Harvey, the show is all yours.
Thank you, Chancellor. Really appreciate it. As Chancellor said, I'm Harvey Stanger, president of Binghamton University. Let me start by saying thank you, Governor Cuomo. Thank you for giving Binghamton University the opportunity to present Binghamton's New York SUNY 2020 plan. New York SUNY 2020 is landmark legislation that serves a number of important New York State goals, creating jobs, enhancing education, and encouraging research that drives new technologies. Most importantly, it will have a significant economic impact. I also want to thank Lieutenant Governor Duffy, Speaker Silver, Majority Leader Skelos, as well as the chairs of the higher education committees, Senator LaValle and Assemblyperson Glick, Chancellor Zimpher, and the members of the SUNY board and SUNY officials who are present today. And I especially want to thank Senator Libous and Assemblyperson Lepardo for their support for the university. With me today are representatives from Binghamton University and the Southern Tier who will be speaking in support of the Binghamton Plan and its impact on the university's community. We have Randall Edouard, Director of Binghamton's Educational Opportunity Program, Bhagat Samakia, Vice President for Research at Binghamton University, Diana Benz, retired IBM executive and President of the Southern Tier Opportunity Coalition, and Jay McNamara, President and CEO of Endicott Interconnect Technologies. The Binghamton Plan rests on two objectives. First, the construction of a $70 million state-of-the-art energy facility, which we'll call the Smart Energy Research and Development Facility. This facility will foster new research with partnerships with industry and expand the educational opportunities at Binghamton University. Our focus over the past 10 years has been to increase the campus research facilities and create an infrastructure for them. This plan is the capstone of these efforts. And second, the addition of 2,000 students, 150 faculty, and 175 professional and support staff that will allow us to develop new and strengthen existing academic programs. Many of these new hires will be focused in smart energy research. The Binghamton Plan builds on the synergy between these two main objectives. The Smart Energy Building will support that innovative research that will generate new partnerships with business. Combined with 2,000 additional students and nearly 400 faculty and staff, the plan will significantly boost the region's economy, providing both short and long-term benefits. In the construction phase alone, 252 jobs ranging from architects and engineers to masons and steel workers will be created per year during the construction period. Based on accepted formulas that take into account increased enrollment, additional faculty, and the resulting increase in research expenditures, our bottom line is, under the Binghamton Plan, the university will produce an additional annual regional economic impact of $77.5 million per year, totaling nearly $390 million over the next 5 years. Using standard economic models, we estimate that more than 840 permanent jobs will be created in Broome and Tioga counties. The Binghamton Plan will enhance both student learning and faculty research. The addition of 150 new faculty will expand the university's academic offerings, not only in energy research, but across the entire university. The plan will ensure that our students receive the vital face-to-face instruction that is crucial to high-quality learning and will help us lower our student-to-faculty ratio from 21:1 to 19:1. Students will also benefit from an increase in the number and quality of research experiences available to them. We estimate that the plan will create 400 new undergraduate research opportunities each year, and the addition of 175 professional and support staff ensures that there will be effective academic research and student support. Students will get better and faster feedback from their professors, a more thorough understanding of subject matter, and a better preparation for their careers. Now I'd like to turn the program over to the Director of Binghamton's Educational Opportunity Program, Randall Edward.
Thank you, President Stenger. The Binghamton Plan dramatically increases educational opportunities for the graduates of New York State's high schools and community colleges by helping to provide more access for education at Binghamton. Each year, we receive more than 32,000 applications for fewer than 3,200 seats. As a result, we cannot meet student demand and we turn away many of New York State's best high school graduates and transfer students. Under our plan, Binghamton will expand enrollment from approximately 15,000 to 17,000 in the next 5 years with no impact on quality. The plan also includes increasing the enrollment of graduate students by 400 over 5 years. The result will be more outstanding New York State students receiving the high-quality education we provide. But equally important, these 2,000 additional students will bring vitality to the region and add to its economic base as they make purchases in stores, restaurants, attend events, and rent apartments. By increasing the number of faculty at Binghamton, the plan will reduce students' time to completion so they quickly enter the workforce. Binghamton already boasts one of the best graduation rates in the nation. Our 4-year graduation rate is 64%, nearly double that of our peers, including the University of Delaware, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and Clemson University, whose equivalent rate is only 34%. Increased funding for student support services, such as student mentoring, first-year experience courses, and enhanced faculty engagement will allow us to increase our already outstanding graduation rate to over 69%. Ensuring that students are able to graduate in 4 years will reap financial benefits for everyone. When students are not able to graduate on time, additional costs are borne both by the students and the taxpayers who provide student assistance. Every extra year of college that a student attends costs more than $7,000 in tuition and fees. So helping them graduate on time helps them transition to graduate school or the workforce quickly and means significant savings to our students, their families, and to New York State. President Stenger?
It's a privilege to introduce the new $70 million Smart Energy Facility. This building will provide cutting-edge labs, state-of-the-art classrooms, and integrated outreach offices. Binghamton's Smart Energy Research and Development Facility is designed to meet the strategic needs of New York State, the Southern Tier, and Binghamton University. Demand for energy, and particularly alternative energy, will only increase over the coming decades. Our research in this facility will help meet those needs. Now I'd like to introduce the Vice President for Research, Bhagat Samakia.
Thank you, President Stenger. So, why build a smart energy research and development facility? Because energy research is a field of discovery that's gaining importance as we move farther into the 21st century. Political and industrial leaders across the nation have identified our energy challenges as among the most pressing they face. At the same time, there is relatively low investment in alternative energy research, particularly in New York State. This facility and the programs it will house represent the logical next step in the development of the university's research programs. The Smart Energy Research and Development Initiative will build upon Binghamton's existing strengths in 4 key areas of alternative energy research: solar and thermoelectric energy harvesting, energy storage, energy efficiency in electronic systems, and sensor development for energy resource management. Binghamton's Smart Energy Initiative addresses state and national needs for cleaner, more efficient energy. Our researchers are making solar power economically competitive by developing new technologies for the production of next-generation thin-film solar panels. We're creating solar-powered devices that can be easily incorporated in consumer goods, such as roofing panels that generate electricity or cell phones that never need recharging. We're discovering ways to reduce and utilize the thermal energy generated by computers and other electronic devices. We're even exploring ways to convert the exhaust from conventional gasoline engines into usable energy resource. This critical research will help New York remain a leader in cost-effective, renewable energy production and is aligned with Governor Cuomo's NY Sun initiative that is committed to dramatically increasing New York State's solar capacity. These new technologies will foster new business and make our region a leader in the field. Finding new, cleaner, and more efficient ways to produce energy is only half the challenge that industry and consumers face. Energy must also be stored and transmitted. One of the most promising fields of discovery at Binghamton is in the area of high-capacity batteries, fuel cells, and ultracapacitors that are efficient, lightweight, and nearly maintenance-free. For example, research at Binghamton led by Professor Stan Whittingham, the inventor of the lithium battery, is moving battery design in new directions with cutting-edge materials that increase storage capacity while reducing costs by as much as 50%. Again, our path-breaking research in energy storage technologies feeds directly into the goals of the industry-led New York Battery and Storage Technology Consortium, NYBEST, which is drawing on public, private, academic, and government sectors to take this research and development to commercialization. Binghamton is driving technology transfer to support industry in the growing alternative energy sector. Another area of critical research that will be conducted at the Smart Energy Research and Development Facility centers on energy efficiency and conservation in electronic systems. Binghamton has recently been named a National Science Foundation Industry University Cooperative Research Center with a focus on reducing energy use from the chip to the data center level. Data centers provide a compelling example of the value of this work. These centers have an enormous appetite for energy. In fact, data centers run by the state of New York alone consume more than $600 million in energy each year. Researchers at Binghamton are designing new workload algorithms and more efficient cooling systems that reduce energy use and costs. This promising area of research has received support from a wide range of high-tech partners and will expand significantly under the Binghamton Plan. The Smart Energy Research and Development Facility will also be home to faculty developing sensors to make the energy industry safer, greener, and more efficient. For example, technologies are being perfected for portable sensors to detect toxins and cancer-causing agents, while green nanotechnologies will help reduce the use of solvents in industry, reducing waste and energy consumption. The investment represented in the Binghamton Plan will open opportunities for growth in this critical discipline and allow us to reduce dependency on foreign energy sources. We estimate that Binghamton's research in the energy area will increase by 20 to 30% in the first 5 years after the facility's completion. With our designation as a NSF IUCRC and our central location within 10 miles of partners, including BAE, IBM, EIT, Universal Instruments, and Lockheed Martin, this facility will enhance collaborative, interdisciplinary, and innovative research that will spawn lower-cost energy sources to help industry partners become more competitive, strengthening their bottom line and allowing them to expand and create more jobs. Binghamton's research programs have high potential and are already generating interest and funding from industry, federal agencies, and philanthropic organizations. This facility with space for collaborative interdisciplinary research, as well as startups for entrepreneurial and tech transfer activities, will make our energy research initiatives more attractive to funders, and in turn, more valuable to our partners across the state as we seek and find alternative energy sources that will make them more efficient, save them money, and put them at the forefront of their industries. The Smart Energy Facility will occupy a key location in Binghamton's Innovative Technologies Complex. This complex is at the heart of the university's cutting-edge research activities and is located so industrial partners have convenient access. In addition, the layout of the building and its central location relative to other research facilities at Binghamton will consolidate our energy and materials research activities, allowing for greater interdisciplinary research and discovery. Similar to other buildings at the complex, the new facility will house a pre-incubator facility that will help faculty-led research teams to develop the full market potential of their ideas and innovations. Experience tells us that some of these startups will become full-fledged manufacturing firms, adding to the region's employment. And it is possible that one of our researchers may find the next big idea, discovering answers that will revolutionize the way we produce and harness energy. President Stanger?
The economic effects of the Binghamton Plan will begin almost immediately. In 2014, as construction on the Smart Energy Facility begins, the region will see a direct impact of more than $77.5 million annually. A total of 840 sustainable jobs will be created at the university and across Broome and Tioga counties, with an additional 252 construction jobs created during each year of construction. The additional faculty researchers, combined with 175 professional and support staff, will generate more than $7 million in new research each year. And the discoveries they make will lead to at least 10 new businesses that will flourish in the Smart Energy Facility's startup and incubation space. These startups serve as incubators of entrepreneurial activity and facilitate the transfer of technology into our partner firms. Binghamton has long worked with industry to support the development of new technologies, and in just the last 5 years, we have doubled our patent licensing revenues. In fact, our Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovative Partnerships serves as a model for commercialization and development of innovative technologies throughout SUNY. But this facility is about more than just faculty research. It is also about teaching the next generation of scientific explorers and highly skilled workers. This facility will give them the experiences and tools they will need to make New York a center for clean energy research and production. Binghamton has a construction financial plan for the Smart Energy Facility based on a formula that spreads the costs among New York State, SUNY, Binghamton University, and private support. As outlined in the challenge grant, The governor's pledge will provide $20 million, which SUNY will supplement with an additional $15 million. The university has assigned another $10 million of its available cash reserves and will obtain another $10 million in research instrumentation and equipment, mostly from in-kind gifts to the university. Finally, we are working with donors and partners to raise another $15 million for the project. We believe the $25 million in research, donor, and partner support will be raised quickly during the design phase of the project. We have laid out an aggressive timeline for the design and construction of the building. Our model has worked very well for other ITC buildings regarding time frame, cost, and effective use of building space, and we believe this arrangement will be very successful here. Formal project design and site development will begin this summer, with construction to start in the fall of 2014. It will be completed in the spring of 2017, resulting in the building's public opening in the fall of 2017. These design and construction timelines are aggressive, but they are based on the timeframes that the campus model has achieved for the other ITC projects. The revenues obtained from the recently enacted rational tuition plan are crucial investments in higher education. However, even these modest tuition increases may present a challenge to some families. We are therefore committed to ensuring that these students obtain necessary financial assistance. The New York SUNY 2020 legislation requires Binghamton to provide TAP awards to cover additional tuitional increases, and our plan does that. But many students have needs that are not covered by TAP alone. Our plan addresses these needs by allocating 25% of all estimated tuition revenues to need and merit-based student support. Our student support plan for the first year consists of, one, $700,000 of the additional tuition revenues will be committed to ensure affordability for TAP-eligible undergraduates as required in the New York SUNY 2020 legislation. And two, Binghamton will assign an additional $900,000 to graduate student support programs, supplemental scholarships for undergraduate students, and expanded support for our Educational Opportunity Program, which is currently the strongest in New York State in terms of student achievement and graduation rate. Specifically, at the undergraduate level, we will increase our outreach to highly qualified, low-income students with supplemental scholarships based on a combination of merit, need, and diversity. At the graduate level, we will make our commitments to research and teaching assistants as well as fellowship holders, where this cannot be achieved by increases in grant and contract awards. In the summer of 2011, the university committed $200,000 new dollars to support our EOP summer program. With the additional tuition revenues from the Binghamton plan, we will ensure that our EOP students can attend the summer enrichment program at no cost. In total, over the next 5 years, we will assign over $12 million, 25% of all revenues from the enacted tuition plan, to support student access. We are committed also to increasing the participation level of minority and women-owned businesses and enterprises that provide goods and services to the university. The campus has expanded its efforts to identify more minority and women-owned businesses and improve our procurement processes to expand their use by campus departments. We will also work closely with the SUNY Construction Fund to identify and maximize the use of MWBE vendors in all aspects of the Smart Energy Building project. Binghamton is committed to transparency in all of our endeavors and partnerships. Our plan will incorporate the SUNY standards on transparency and avoidance of conflict of interest as specified in the New York SUNY 2020 legislation. I'd now like to introduce Diana Benz, President of the Southern Tier Opportunity Coalition.
Thank you, President Singer. I am Diana Benz, President of the Southern Tier Opportunity Coalition. Known as STOC, we are a consortium of about 30 business, academic, and community leaders that promotes job creation, retention, and business startups in the Southern Tier. Binghamton University has always been an important economic driver in the region and has a long history of collaboration and partnership with industry. Academic and business leaders created STOC to bring new technology to fruition and foster cooperation between business and the university. The growing collaboration has been the catalyst to reinvent and expand the technology focus of the Southern Tier. Our economic situation would be bleaker than it is if it weren't for the creation of the innovative technology complex and its diverse technology focus. The addition of the Smart Energy Building is essential to add even more important and pertinent research to support our future economic prosperity. The university's historical strengths in areas such as computer science and microelectronics have made it a leader in these fields and a target for investment by regional, state, and international firms. On a daily basis, I see excitement from Binghamton University's industrial partners. They're excited about the possibilities that will be unleashed by the Binghamton Plan. They talk about the potential for new partnerships, about advancing the science of energy, and about propelling innovation throughout the Southern Tier. Binghamton's Smart Energy Initiative is closely aligned with the needs of New York State and its industries. It promises to develop translational technologies that will enhance our quality of life, spur new directions in consumer and industrial production, and address the critical energy needs for our state and nation. Business leaders all agree that this is a strong proposal that will create new jobs, strengthen existing industries, and generate new discoveries that will transform the way the Southern Tier works. The business members and community members that make up our coalition strongly support the Binghamton Plan, but I want to stress that the entire community is behind this initiative, not just the firms and companies that work in energy. The community is united behind the Binghamton Plan and the economic benefits it will bring to our region. President Stenger?
I'd now like to ask Jay McNamara, President and CEO of Endicott Interconnect Technologies, to say a few words about how important the Smart Energy Initiative is to our industrial partners.
Thank you. Let me first tell you something about my firm and the close relationship we have developed with Binghamton University. With 1,600 highly technical employees and based in Endicott, New York, EI provides high-performance electronic packaging solutions for customers in areas ranging from defense and aerospace to communications, computing, and medical markets. EI received more than $100 million in defense contracts in 2010 and 2011 and uses some of the most advanced electronics packaging solutions available in the industry today. EI hosts the university's Center for Advanced Microelectronics Manufacturing, contributing over $1 million annually in facilities and technical support to its initiatives. Together, we are developing materials, processes, and manufacturing technologies to enable the fabrication of new, flexible electronics technologies into low-cost, lightweight products. Through observing other firms and in the personal experiences I've had with Binghamton University, business leaders can rely on university researchers for creative and collaborative thinking. They produce concepts that are market-ready and have a real impact on the productivity and profitability of the partner firms. And frequently, companies are able to maintain or increase regional employment based on the strength of the ideas emanating from these partnerships. Collaboration with Binghamton University has given EI the opportunity to develop new technology and manufacturing capabilities for low-cost, high-function electronic systems and flexible substrates. This technology would be the backbone of tomorrow's electronics, fueling job growth in the U.S. and in our industry. Our partnership with Binghamton University is critical to the success of our company and continues to be an integral part of our strategic vision for future products. In the past 2 years alone, our investment in the university's research programs has generated over $25 million in revenue for our company. I am fully confident that the Binghamton Plan before you will significantly strengthen the partnerships that exist between industries and Binghamton University. This is a very forward-looking plan that will create jobs and brighten the future of the Southern Tier. President Stenger.
Thank you, Jay. Let me conclude by saying thank you to Governor Cuomo and the legislature for this opportunity to present the Binghamton Plan. One of the most pressing needs in higher education is to find ways that harness the intellectual power and resources of our universities to the economic needs of our communities. In developing this visionary New York SUNY 2020 Challenge Grant Program, you have demonstrated that you get it. You understand how best to leverage our respective strengths to add to the economic, social, and cultural well-being of our state. I'm extremely confident about this program and believe that it will go a long way toward addressing our regional economic challenges while improving the educational opportunities available to students throughout the state. We look forward to the approval of the plan so that we can get the Southern Tier back to work. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. I think the plan is truly very impressive. It's well thought out. The leverage that you bring in the plan, I think, is extraordinary. The work you've done to identify the private sector jobs, which to me, this is all about. And also, you are in the right area. You are in the growth area. And this is the challenge for the state, this marriage of our best academic institutions creating products that we can then commercialize. And that synapse is what we have to develop. We have the best academic institutions in the country. We have the best ability to grow private sector companies, but that we're missing in the synapse, the connection between the two. That's where other states have frankly beaten us thus far, and that's the spot that we're working on. I think this goes right to that. So well done. With that, let me turn it over to my colleague, Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos, for his comments.
Thank you, Governor. And again, I want to thank you for your leadership in developing SUNY 2020 Challenge Grant Program. I want to recognize, of course, both the chairs of the Higher Education Committee, Senator Laval, Assemblymember Glick. You work very closely together on a bipartisan basis, and I think that's one of the reasons why we have such a great state university system, so we thank you. And to my colleague, Tom Libbis, focused, tenacious, never gives up on Binghamton University. We have a little bit of a challenge between the two of us in terms of hometown pride, Stony Brook, Binghamton University. We love them both because I think half the kids from Long Island go to Binghamton University, which is wonderful. But I think the overriding theme of the governor and the speaker of the legislature, it's about job creation throughout the state. And certainly by empowering our state university system, which is the best in the country, you're going to see, whether it's the southern tier or on Long Island, any parts of the state, you're going to see significant growth in job creation, high-paying job, good research, good technology, good science, and this is what it's about. So, Governor, I thank you once again for your leadership, and I look forward to working with you on the next round of challenge grants.
Thank you,
Governor.
Senator. Thank you. Thank you. Let me turn it now to Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for your leadership on this and so many other issues, and I do want to thank my colleague in the Assembly, the chair of our Higher Education Committee, Assembly Member Deborah Glick, who has worked well with her counterpart in the Senate, Senator Ken Laval, to bring about a university that is both committed to the students and committed to being a driving force to the economy of this state. I and my Assembly Majority colleagues are really committed to the revitalization of our inner cities, especially the city of Binghamton, among others, and to the economic resurgence of the southern tier. Rebuilding our upstate economy requires a commitment to innovation and also a commitment to rebuilding and revitalizing those cities, because that is where the building blocks of job growth already exist. The infrastructure, the workforce, the mass transit, and the access to markets are all there. And when it comes to job creation, our record is clear. We believe in public-private partnerships. We believe in utilizing the technological capacity and human capital of our great public colleges and universities, and target investments through our SUNY and our CUNY schools to spur economic development. With the leadership of Assembly Member Donald Lepardo, the Assembly invested $15 million in the Binghamton Center of Excellence to advance microelectronics, R&D, and bring high-tech jobs to the region. Clearly, we are strong proponents of our public colleges, universities, and community colleges as engines for regional economic growth and job creation. At the same time, we are striving to protect, and we must protect, the integrity of our higher education system. And we are wholeheartedly committed to ensuring that our SUNY and CUNY schools remain affordable and accessible to any New Yorker who wants to pursue a college degree and has earned the right to do so. That's how we measure your presentation, and our goals are the same, and I commend you for an excellent presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Chancellor Zimfer?
Well, I certainly, on behalf of the SUNY Board of Trustees and Binghamton University, Governor, want to thank you so very much for your vision and leadership and the work that you are doing, Lieutenant Governor, with economic development. And to the Majority Leader Skelos and to Speaker Silver, this has been a great ride. I think we've shown what partnership can really do for a state, and because of the nature of my job, I'm forced to go to national meetings where I talk about what's happening in New York, and I can tell you people are listening, people are watching, and I think there's going to be a lot of mirror images of what New York is doing with economic development elsewhere in this country. And on a daily basis, working with Senator Laval and Assemblymember Glick, this is how the work of higher education gets done. It gets done in partnership, and we dialogue on a regular basis, and this is a really proud day for us. So I want to say I hope you have confidence now that President Stenger and his team are really going to break ground on some terrific ideas. It was on the insistence of the governor's office that we make sure we lift up economic development and research. At the same time, we lift up the experiences of every student who attends Binghamton University. So that's been really important in this plan. And then lastly, I would say, given that Binghamton's reputation is literally international, I think it really strikes a chord, Senator Libous and Assemblywoman Lepardo, that this is really focused on the southern tier. A great university will be known by its national and international reputation, but the heart of it is what a university can do for its community, for its region, and for its state. This is a very proud moment for the State University of New York and Binghamton. Thank you.
Nicely said, as usual. I'd ask my colleagues, the floor is open. We have, as you've heard, great leadership, and as you know, great leadership in the legislature on both committees. And you have the added advantage of really great local representation. I forget the word that Dean used to describe Tom. Was it ferocious? Was it tenacious?
Tenacious.
Tenacious. Tenacious local representative, Senator Tom Libous and Assemblyperson Donald Lepardo. So they've been working on your behalf very hard, you should know, and we've heard about this for weeks. All polite and nice, but we've heard about it for weeks. Any questions or comments from anyone? Deborah?
You know I'm not shy.
Okay.
I just want to say that it's a terrific team at Binghamton, and very pleased that President Stenger has joined the team there. And I know that he comes with a lot of energy when somebody comes into a new position. They want to get everything done right away. And I think you pulled together a wonderful presentation, and I'm confident that Binghamton, which I know is one of the great jewels of the SUNY system, this will, in an area, I mean, if there's anything that's important to the future of the state and the country, it's harnessing smart energy. And so I think this is a hugely important area for all of us going into the future.
Okay.
I have to start off by saying your outstanding leadership brings everyone together, but most importantly, to get a result. And we have gotten results. For our Majority Leader, higher education is a priority. And for my dear friend and colleague, Tom Libous, he is tenacious, and he bleeds Binghamton, whatever the colors are.
We all bleed. He made us all bleed Binghamton. Yeah, that's right.
She's got the colors.
Don or Tom, you want to say to the senator?
Sure. Governor, thank you. And again, I would repeat what has been said here, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your leadership and for your vision. And to the leader, Leader Skelos, thank you for the support that you've given me. Speaker Silver, thank you. My colleague, Assemblywoman Lepardo, we make a great team together, and I see Assemblyman Crouch is also here, Assemblyman Finch, together. We work very hard on behalf of Binghamton University. Chancellor, you've been very receptive and open, and certainly my colleagues and Chairman Laval and Chairwoman Glick, you've always been there to listen for us when we push Binghamton. Let me tell you what excites me about this outstanding presentation today. The presentation talks about not only smart energy, which is something we should get very excited about. It is a different project, unlike any other project that I think is being taken up throughout the system. And we talked about jobs, we talked about opportunities. I have to say that Binghamton University has been a great economic engine, not only through the partnerships that both Jay and Diana talked about this morning, but also the students that spend money in our community from Long Island, Leader, and we appreciate that. Just to tell you a quick story, there's a local diner I go to called the Park Diner, and my wife and I have been going. It's kind of called the Libis Hangout. Well, I have to tell you, over the last several years, we can't get in on Saturday and Sunday after church. We have to wait because there's lines of university students, and we want to continue that sort of thing in the community. But this project, Governor, is going to not only create jobs, it's going to produce careers. And I salute you for that, because that's what we're trying to do here. Jobs are one thing and they're important, but creating careers is what this program at Binghamton University is going to do. So I think the team, President Steger, I'm very proud of what the team has done today. Again, Leader Skelos, Governor, Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and we will follow through on this proposal and make it work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Assemblymember Lepardo?
I'd like to say a couple things. You know, when you first rolled out the Economic Regional Council idea and the challenge grants, I have to say I wasn't a huge fan of the idea of competition, but I've come to understand what it meant and what the value of it has been, because it really has helped the partners in the region get to know one another, build connections, find commonalities. It's really been very, very positive. And even if on the grants they may not have won on the first go-round, they're very highly motivated to continue working together and finding ways to really be successful, whether it involved a grant or not. And certainly this challenge grant has produced a really fine product that I think links together with the overall regional plan, which fully strengthens what you're doing. The innovative tech complex, it's really outstanding. What they've been doing recently, working with my office, is going into the community and telling people about what they're doing. Because people see these wonderful buildings going up, and they have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, that they're inventing the next generation of thin film that can be used for so many applications, the next generation of hearing aids, the next generation of numerous products that will have real value. Now, if we can put the connections that the governor is talking about together between talent and entrepreneurs and capital and the research that we're doing, and beefing up the K-12 system to help kids be prepared, I think we're really in business, and telling the world about it through some sort of platform where they can learn all about the connection. So, Governor, thanks a million. I really appreciate your effort. Happy to be a partner.
Well said, and it's an appropriate note to end on, I think, Assemblymember. A lot of pieces are coming together. You know, we passed legislation in this building. It's a big focus of what we do. And we've passed a lot of legislation over the past year and a half, and now we're seeing the fruits of that legislation. And we're seeing it implemented, and we're seeing it operationalized, and we see it working. And it's fascinating to see. You know, it's almost like watching the progress of a child, right? You birth the piece of legislation, and you work through it, but then you see it in actual development, and you see the energy that it's creating in the local community, and that's what it's all about. And the pieces are coming together. You can feel it. But they're starting to reinforce each other, and this state is on a fundamentally different trajectory than it was on, and I credit my colleagues with that. President and your team, you did a great job. Let me confer with my colleagues here, and we'll get back to you forthwith. But thank you very much for taking the time to come and share your presentation. It was very well done. I know I speak for all my colleagues when I say it was well done. Thank you. Great. Very nice. Well, tenacious time.